Hey guys, welcome back to 3 Mississippi. Sid here, and today we are on the next step of getting the chicken coop moving right along. Let's go take a look what they're doing. So Mike and Frankie are putting the base on.
So we're gonna want to put a floor joist every 16 inches.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road.
This is not our first time building a coop from the ground up. We did it back at our old place in California, back then when we were the Crouch Ranch, and we designed it and built it ourselves. Well, Mike designed it. I just told him what I wanted. Uh, but we learned through trial and error that some things that we incorporated into that design were not as functional as we had hoped that it would be. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that we did and show you some pictures here of our old coop that we built from the ground up in California, and kind of point out some of the things that we specifically wanted to change going into this build. That coop was elevated and it had a space underneath, which we thought was going to be great for allowing the birds to have some extra shade, because when we first bought the property and built the coop, some of the trees around that area were not as mature and not providing as much shade. So our thought was, great, they'll have some shade underneath there. What we didn't take into account was that area was not tall enough to get underneath to clean out. And if you needed to get to a certain bird, it was almost impossible. You had to crawl on your hands and knees and hope you could catch them with your rooster hook. It did make things a little bit of a struggle in that sense. Since it was elevated off the ground, the plywood flooring, we would use sand, we used hay, we used pine shaving bedding. We used all different types of bedding in there over the years to kind of see which ones we liked better. I never really found one that was easy to clean out of there. The roost racks that we built inside were fixed and not removable, so it made it really hard to get behind there to clean underneath where the birds had roosted and left presents. That was also a tricky thing. It was easy enough to get in and out of it, but like I said, since it was elevated, we had a door on one side and a door on the other. The nesting boxes were plenty fine enough in themselves, but the door on the top of them, we never did fix anything that it had a freestanding hinge so that you could just prop it up. You had to hold, this is gonna sound funny guys, but you had to hold the top of the nesting box lid with the tip of your head while you got your eggs and put them in the basket and then put it back down. If you can visualize that, it was always fun. I had hit my head on that thing many times over the years. And then of course we had a little fenced in run that we built. And then about a year after we built the coop, we decided to build an outdoor brooder next to it, which had almost what I would describe as like a crawl space between the edge of the coop and the brooder, which again, the birds love to hide in between, and it was really hard to get them out when you wanted to This was specifically difficult during the springtime when the girls would decide to lay their eggs in weird places and decide to go broody in that corner. It was impossible to get to those eggs, impossible to get them out. So that meant that sometimes you ended up having surprise chicks or ducklings when you really didn't want them at that time. Aesthetically, we really liked the look of the coop. It looked like a little old barn, and we loved that. We painted everything, we got it all done. It was easy to kind of hose off the outside. I would pressure wash it once in a while and sweep down cobwebs because that was a big issue out there. It was very dusty a lot of times, so we'd get cobwebs and dirt on it. But you know, it's a chicken coop. It's not going to be sparkling clean all the time either. This coop, however, is going to be a lot bigger. We're doing 24 by 24. It's going to have 2 doors on each side that we can drive through, basically essentially from the backyard into the first pasture here, allowing us the ability to get big things of feed through, allowing us to take the side-by-side back here and clean out any areas that need to be cleaned out. It's going to be a lot more functional in a lot of ways. There's still a few things that we're kind of tweaking as we're going, but definitely no areas that the birds can get into that we cannot get into. I think that is probably the number one thing that we learned. Don't make little hidey hole areas for your birds because they will use them and they will make your life a little bit more difficult at times and make it, areas that it's easy to clean it out. I think that is the number one thing too as well. Make it where it's an easy area to rake out. Nesting bars that are either removable or straight across layered back that it's easy to get underneath to clean out inside the coop when you've got them locked up, aside from just their run area. We actually built that first coop well before we had the channel, and we didn't document it quite the way that we would have, obviously, like we're going to be documenting this one. But I tell you what, I'm glad that we learned a lot from that first coop, a lot of what we want, a lot of what we don't want, and that accompanied with now having lived with and raising birds for quite some time, I think I have a much better idea of what I want and what's going to be really functional and what's going to work. So hopefully, combined with Mike's expertise on building and his gift for that, and my knowledge of birds and what I need for it to be functional and a good environment for those birds to thrive in, I think it's going to be the perfect marriage, so to speak. And we're going to get this coop built. It's going to be amazing, and it is going to be the perfect poultry paradise.
First week of the month, right up into orbit, a chick's the only bound. A lanyard thinks a problem, a rent being overdue. What possible solution? I haven't got a clue. But at the end of the day, at the end, it's all that matters, all I pray, just to feel good at the end of the day. I've loaned on my possessions, all that I can claim. I ain't got a single penny to my name. My neighbor says he's bothered by what I cannot see. He says that I can launder falls what those should be. But at the end of the day, the end of the day, it's all that matters, all I pray, just to feel good at the end of the day.
Okay, Frankie, I need 6 boards, 14.5 inches long, and We should be able to run this chop saw off the Blue Eddy. Let's give it a shot.
Now you look like a homeless child, ready to cut things with your hair tucked in your hoodie.
You know this thing slides, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes if it doesn't go all the way through, right? Because somebody's gonna love this. By the way, folks, if you don't have a sawhorse out at your work site and you've got a pallet fork for your tractor, you've got a sawhorse. If you got a pallet. Boom, just like that. Okay, I want you to take that header and see if it lays in this opening.
Starting to look like a building, guys.
So you see what's happening there? A little geometry.
Yeah.
So the angle of the angle is what's killing you. See there?
Yeah, that's why I'm not good at geometry.
What did I say? 74? Pull that back out, please. We need to cut two 74-inch 204s. Choppy choppy.
So this is pretty.
It is. So do you think, would you rather be deer hunting or building the coop?
I feel like deer hunting I would be too cold. I would have more clothes on, but I would be too cold right now because I wouldn't be moving around. I'd just be sitting there. But this needs to get done. So, and we already have beer on the freezer, and probably gonna go tomorrow afternoon if we can. So, probably rather this, just because this needs to get
Come over here and
done.
hold this for me, would you? Okay, that's gonna stand up right inside the opening there.
The carnage.
Yeah. My hands are really cold. It's cold out here.
It's not warm tonight.
No, it's chilly.
Jeez.
All right, you figure out where that one goes. Right. You see what we're doing with these?
Sure. I think we're just making this more sturdy.
Well,
I don't know.
these are called, I think they're called jack studs.
I know we did this at the
See-
old house
see how-
we were building.
See how there's a step right there? Right?
Yeah.
Want to see something cool? Here, hold that. Okay. Now watch this right here.
Watch it.
Now watch that.
Watch that 2F4 smack you in the face.
I'm scared.
Good.
It's the weirdest game of Jenga I've ever seen.
This is a dangerous
I'm
game
just
of
testing the
Jenga.
fit here.
You are too short.
I'm gonna trust that it fits
Okay.
and nail it.
Okay.
Where my nails are.
You got holes in your armpits of your shirt, by the way. Found that out.
That's pretty redneck right there.
How do you even get holes in your armpits? Look at all the places.
Wear and tear from flailing his arms around.
Like you?
Yes.
You should have holes in your armpits.
Right? Clearly.
And as the sun sets on the Serengeti,
Are you commentating?
the primitive creatures use nail guns to put pieces of wood together in the jungle.
In the jungle.
The wild jungles of northern
no.
Mississippi. Oh no, Michael can't measure things today. Oh! Don't die. Don't break rule number 1. You need a rubber mallet. Oh! Or a trim. You need a haircut and a trim, sir.
No, he needs to stop, like,
Almost unaliving himself with a
And
big
everybody
giant
else?
block of wood. Remember, I've been sitting in my office editing, so when I walk outside, I'm like, oh, it's cold out here. Yes, it's beautiful. Look at that.
I just need a couple more inches. Said no man ever.
I don't.
Oh, wait. Mike, get back in that door frame. That's your Tinder profile picture right there.
Your Tinder?
This is my Tinder profile picture.
Yes.
I need to take a picture of that. Hold on. Just stay put for a second.
That's a photo op. The paparazzi want to get a photo.
That's going in my favorites right there.
Nice.
Nice. It's like when he got the deer.
Wow. Shh.
Woo.
Oh, misfire.
Misfire.
All right, guys, so we got floor joists in. We got one wall framed up and one door framed up and a header built. So I think we definitely made some progress today. It was nice to get some lumber out here, you know, put together. We've been staring at these 4x4s standing up out of the ground for a while, and you know, life was not permitting progress. So today we made progress.
That's true. And I'm excited about it. One step closer to getting the birds out here, and that's exciting. So I'm happy about the progress today. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for more coopage.
Coopage.
Bitch.
Yeah, it's a word. I just made it a word.
All right.